He said he was going to build a wall and have Mexico pay for it. He did not deliver that. He said he was going to eliminate the debt, and he added $7.8 trillion to the debt.
For me, it's very much about no drama, no whining, and getting results and getting them done.
Republican presidential candidates Ron DeSantis and Nikki Haley ahead of tomorrow's Iowa caucuses, both hoping for a stronger than expected showing and both hopeful of picking up Chris Christie supporters after the former New Jersey governor dropped out. Meantime, this week, the frontrunner, former President Trump, was already taking a pre-caucus victory lap.
I have polls that show me leading by a tremendous amount in New Hampshire and a lot in Iowa, and nationwide we're leading by almost 60 points. So I'm not exactly worried.
Panel, if there's any wild card here, it's likely the weather, with a low temperature of -17 forecast Monday for Cedar Rapids and -14 in Des Moines. That's chilly, Bill King. What do you see anything happening in Iowa?
Look, I don't think you can keep him from the nomination, but I would point out that he consistently polls about 50% of Republicans. So half of even the Republicans, which is a tiny subset of the whole country, doesn't want him to be president. And I think that says something about his general election prospects. But, you know, what the problem is, all these people want to run to be president, and they keep splitting up the non-Trump vote. It's exactly the same thing that happened in 2016. I was glad to see Christie get out. That may help consolidate that. After New Hampshire, we may see a two-person race in the Republican primary.
All right, Gary.
Yeah, I think Bill's right. I think what's going to happen is that Haley is going to do better than expected in Iowa. And I think that's the end of DeSantis' campaign because he spent so much resources in Iowa. I think that Haley can win in New Hampshire, and then the big question becomes what happens in South Carolina. I'll tell you that Trump is a little disingenuous because he tells you how far ahead he is, he's not worried. His campaign is now spending the majority of its funds attacking Nikki Haley. So if that was the case, that, you know, I'm 60 points ahead, it doesn't matter, why would you be doing that? So I think that's important to watch. I think she is, and she's a candidate that I think is also going to scare Democrats because she polls better than Trump against a Democrat, though I'm sure that if she's the nominee, she'll get demonized too.
Yeah, I saw a poll where Nikki Haley beats Joe Biden by 12. Wayne, you talk to a lot of Republicans, and they're not dumb people. You know, that
breaking news.
Well, no, they know about President Trump's character flaws, and yet they have doubled down on him.
Yeah, because he's perceived as a fighter. And a lot of Republican voters are simply frustrated that this country is sliding down a cliff in the way government runs, in culture, in everything. And they view Trump. And I actually think DeSantis says the same things. And I actually am a little surprised that he has not stayed more popular because Trump does have a lot of baggage. And again, as Nikki Haley says, right or wrong, right? And I think all that indictment stuff is all a bunch of nonsense, right? I think Trump would have been a lot more beatable if the Democrats and the Justice Department had not made him a martyr.
All right, we've been talking with the Fox Texas trio about the issue of abortion and whether that's going to drive Democratic moderate voters to the polls in opposition of Trump. What do you think?
Well, this is the opportunity where you go, hello, Democratic Party, are you still there? An opportunity for them to raise their voices, an opportunity for movements like the Women's March to go out there and say, enough is enough. We're tired of seeing politics that makes no sense, like we're living in an alternate reality. This is a time for those factions to raise their voices, and we haven't heard much.